What's going on, YouTube? We're back with another video. This is the Isaiah Sanders Show. Today we're going to be reacting to how Ced Thompson got dropped from the NFL. Cedric Thompson was a NFL safety. He was drafted in 2015 in the 5th round. Drafted to the Miami Dolphins. It didn't turn too well for him. We're going to go over his whole story. He made a video a couple of days ago and I just want to react to it. Just showing like the fall from grace and showing how you can have a promising career and it all goes away. Let's jump straight into this. My name is Isaiah Sanders. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's see what's going on, man.
Bill Belichick looked at me in my face and told me, you can do everything right and you still cannot make it in this league. In 2015, I was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. By 2017, I was kicked out of the league. The NFL didn't cut me. I cut myself, fought my own teammate. I got into it with my head coach in front of the whole team. Then I bounced from team to team to team. And I missed out on multi-million-dollar deals like some of my college teammates did. I had one chance to set my family up forever. And my wife believed that I would do it. And I blew it. It took me 10 years to get real with myself about that. I knew that I had what it took because I learned this about myself when I was in Snoop Dogg's youth football league as a kid. But I completely forgot about it.
So it seemed like he had stuff going on. He wasn't no. I mean, the 5th round is pretty good, but he wasn't like no bum. He had a chance to make millions of dollars, basically.
You don't know me. My name is Ced. I was the first to graduate high school in my family, get a Division I scholarship to the University of Minnesota, get drafted to the league. So I was drafted in the 5th round, like I said, and they also drafted Devontae Parker, Jordan Phillips, Jamil Douglas, Bobby McCain, Jay Ajayi, me, and then Tony Lippett. It was the same year that Ndamukong Suh signed that 6-year, $114 million contract. Jarvis Landry was also there coming off of his rookie season, and he had just broke the rookie reception record for the Miami Dolphins and also tied 6th in the league. Joe Philbin was the head coach. During the preseason, I did not play well. They were asking me to do things that I didn't do in college, like play nickel and play free safety, but I played strong safety in the Big Ten. I just had a bunch of tackles, guarded big tight ends. My speed always kind of got me in trouble because I can run, which means I can guard people. That did not work out well my rookie year. Anything they asked me to do, I tried to do, and I ended up paying for it, and I got released. When I got released, no other teams wanted me, and I had to sign to the practice squad. That was tough, being a draft pick, and I did not handle it well. I got into it with Joe Philbin in front of everybody. We had a joint practice with the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. He said something to me that wasn't that big of a deal. I just was in my feelings and I just made a bad decision with the boss. One day at practice, me and Jarvis got into a fight. We were doing this drill where he had to come and block me and we had to hit. I had to shed him off and tackle the ball carrier. He did not take it well on how we collided and we started fighting and they covered.
I want to give you guys a little background on Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry in 2015 was one of the best receivers. Him and Odell was like, Jarvis Landry was one of the best receivers in the league during that time. And like, to fight a star like Jarvis is not gonna go well. It's not gonna go well. That's like basically fighting who's a big receiver right now. That's like freaking I'm trying to think of a big. That's like fighting freaking CeeDee Lamb, you know. That's that or Jamar Chase. That's like fighting them and you're on a practice squad. That's not that perspective in general. It's just not a good look, especially if you want a practice squad. Practice squad is like you're not on the team, but they're just using you for practice. So it's just not a good look. It's definitely not a good look. It's not.
The whole thing. Their 1st round pick, Devontae Parker, I was guarding him at practice, and you got to be a professional and guard correctly, and I didn't, and I ended up hurting his ankle when I was trying to practice hard in the NFL. And we're in London and we're playing against the Jets, and Ryan Tannehill and the practice squad got into it. I'm on the practice squad. Ryan said something to the practice squad about he hopes that we get a nice practice squad trophy because I think Tony picked off his ball and he was mad about that because it just made him look bad.
You know, am I happy about everything I said? No, the things went down the way they did. No, but
on that flight back to London, Joe Philbin gets fired. I'll never forget Ndamukong Suh's face and demeanor when they fired Joe Philbin. He was happy as hell. So when Dan Campbell gets hired, the entire energy of the program changes.
Dan Campbell says he wants players to walk the line of playing tough. Today they saw and felt firsthand exactly what that means.
We're doing live hitting drills. That clip that you saw earlier, that was me hitting Jay Ajayi. Now, last time I talked about this on Instagram, Jay saw it and he was frustrated by it. He said next time that I address him to make sure that I call him Super Bowl champion. So, Jay, this is for you. You're a Super Bowl champion, bro. So fast.
No, but I kind of see the pattern here. It just seems like, okay. It seems like Ced has a ego, not an ego, but like an underdog energy, like where he's trying to prove himself overly too much. And that probably was his downfall. That's what I'm getting.
That you saw earlier, that was me hitting.
Especially this
Jay
right
Ajayi.
here.
Now, last time I talked about this on Instagram, Jay saw it and he was frustrated by it. He said next time that I address him to make sure that I call him Super Bowl champion. So, Jay, this is for you. You're a Super Bowl champion, bro.
Yeah.
So fast forward through all that, we get to the end of the season, and I have a decision to make. I either stay in Miami, go to the Texans, the Raiders, or the Patriots. And I remember when I was trying to figure out where to go, a lot of my teammates were coming up to me being like, bro, don't go to New England because it's super strict over there. You can't do anything. It's all about work. The Texans is like this. If you go to the Raiders, the facilities are bad, but it's chill and you can go out and party and da-da-da-da. I'm just like, what the hell, bro? I'm about to go to New England because I care about the work. So that's what I did. But my time with the Patriots did not last long. I didn't play well in the preseason. It was against the Bears. And I just did not have a good game for a plethora of reasons. But at the end of the day, they don't care about your reasoning. I didn't play well. And I wanted to be in New England bad, man. I really, really wanted to play there for many reasons that I'm sure anybody would resonate with. But I was hurt when I got
Because I think in 2015, they probably won a Super Bowl. Like Tom, from 2013 to 2020, Tom Brady was like, this motherfucker was different, bro. So him going to the Patriots was a good move, but I guess he didn't play well.
Released from there. But when I got released, there's something that I took from that I held on to that I'll never forget. And it's what Bill Belichick said to me. He said, you can do everything right in this league, and you still might not make it. So after that, I bounced around to a few different teams. I went to the Vikings, the Redskins, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Titans. And my career ended when I got hurt in Cincinnati. And for years, I held on to what Belichick said to me because I felt like all those teams didn't give me a fair shot. Like I felt like, like I'm doing everything right and it's just not working out for me. When I played in Snoop Dogg's youth football league growing up, I wasn't good when I first started. And what I did unknowingly is I found a mentor. I started to look at all the other players who were good and I mimicked what they did. The player that I followed, his name was Booga. I looked at everything that he did. I noticed that he was a single-digit number. I noticed that when he ran around the park, he was always in the front. I saw that when we were at practice, he was in front of the line, leading the team chant and leading the jumping jacks. I saw everything that he did. He played in the league for some time. The last team that he was with, I believe, was the Cardinals. So going into my second year as a youth football player, I did everything that he did. I got number 4. I ran across the park and I was the first in line. I started leading the chants and I did all that up to the season and I got a starting spot as a safety. Okay. And at the end of that year, at our banquet, they handed out trophies. And you know that when you go to a banquet as a kid, everybody gets a participation trophy. Yeah. We get to the end of my team's ceremonial part. The coach is giving a speech. His name is Coach Will, talking about a player who has really stepped up his game and has played really well and didn't make excuses. He called my name and he gave me the most improved player trophy. Wow. And that trophy changed everything for me because I understood if you see something that you want, you find the things or the people who have done it well, repeat it and make it your own. If I would have took that...
That's actually some good advice. I want to say one thing, like, when it comes to doing anything well, right, this is something, what he's saying is something I do too. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just mimic those who already done the great thing you're trying to do. Say, for example, if you want to be an actor, bro, mimic the best actors right now. And just mimic them. Just see their work ethic. See how they develop their characters. Like see all that. Like study the greats. If you're in a carpenter, and you want to be the best carpenter, find the best carpenter on your job site and try to mimic him. Ask questions. Like you want to mimic those who are great because that's good advice right there. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Stop trying to be this independent lone wolf because it's not going to work, bro. Just mimic those who paved the way, bro. And it's okay to mimic your peers. Sometimes your peers are, they that guy. Like he said, his homie, he was that guy. Mimic those who are great because it's going to help you go a long way. Don't be prideful.
Most improved player mentality to the Dolphins I believe that I will be playing right now, or I will be at the end of my career with a couple of contracts under my belt. I know that for a fact, because that most improved player trophy made me the first to graduate high school, go to college, and get into the league, and be the first in many things of my life. When I look back at my NFL career, there were things that I definitely could have did better. There's one thing I wish I really could have did was look for somebody who knew what they were doing, who was a professional, who could teach me how to move around an NFL locker room and an NFL facility. But I didn't do that because I made it, you know? Like I made it to the league and I got drafted on top of that. So I felt like I didn't need anybody.
That's what I mean. That's that pride right there. That pride will make you feel like you don't need anybody. But trust me, in any field, whatever field you in, it's okay to have a mentor. I have to tell my brothers this in my brotherhood. It's okay to have somebody mentor you. It's okay.
And I couldn't hurt myself because I'm at the place and this team chose me. And from all the things that I've heard, when you're drafted, you have a lot of chances and you get more shots. That just wasn't the case. I wasn't being a professional. You know, I had my time to grieve and be upset and be sad and take the blame for all the things that I did over those years. But I had to pick myself back up. And understanding my strengths and weaknesses is what made me be able to get up and realize that I can be that most improved player, kid again. When you think about us as men, what we worked our whole lives for when it comes to a job or an identity or a label can really hinder the bigger mission, because we're labeled as that thing.
Right.
And also at the same time, we absolutely love that thing that we're doing. But when we leave and take that helmet off, that number gets given to somebody else, or the badge is ripped off, whatever it is, you can always come back to your new team. That opened up my eyes to understand what I was put on earth for. When I think about all the things that I learned as the most improved player, to high school, to college, to the league, all that stuff was reps in here and in here. To do the ultimate thing, which is to lead my family well. And that can sound a little bit contradictory. It could be like, yeah, bro, you could have set yourself up with millions of dollars being in the league. I still think about that to this day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna act like that's not something that doesn't bother me, because it does. That's something I gotta live with. But that doesn't mean I can't get those M's now.
Right.
It's just a different route. And probably not as many M's.
I'm not gonna lie. It would have been way... Gang, if you would have locked in, I'm not... NFL is hard. Now everybody's gonna make it. But like, bro, you know what I mean? You crashed out, bro. Why are you fighting Jarvis Landry? You feel me? Like, what I'm peeping is, I feel like what he's explaining is imposter syndrome, right? Like you're mimicking an idea. I don't want to sound contradictory from earlier. Yes, you want to mingle with those who are great, but don't let that one thing become your whole personality, because it's never going to end well. Because then you just become a robot. You're not thinking with your head. You're just thinking, oh, I got to get this, boom, 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 boom. Because it's you make it an identity. That's when you like you said, he was moving with anger, with pride. Because I feel like he was in an imposter syndrome. Like he was kind of just robotic. He wasn't thinking straight. Now, when he brought up the money, like, bro, I'm not saying everybody can make the NFL, but brother, you had a shot, gang. You got drafted. You know what I mean? Like, you said that they wanted you to do something, you wasn't doing it. I don't know all the details of football, but when I played football, when my coach told me to do something, I did it. I'm not no NFL star. I'm only 5'8", gang. But still, like, you could get the millions now, but bro, you had a chance to make some good money, gang. You had a chance. I gotta say that. But maybe it's not God's will. So you're probably doing something else. You got YouTube, so that's good.
I can get some, you know, and I know that to be true. And money isn't the thing that I'm chasing. You know, money is nothing but a resource that helps me be able to give my kids access to the things they want to do the little fun things that I like doing with my home and renovating and going on trips with my family, you know, and stuff like that. The highest calling of a man is to lead his family.
Yeah.
And you have to understand the areas that you need to work on to be the man that you need to be, to lead your wife, your kids, and your community. I could have let my lifelong dream that ended because of my own doing ruin the rest of my life.
That's true.
And I didn't. What I will tell you is that if your career has come to an end, or you're in a transition period, or you're trying to grieve through what it is that you blew up, whether it's in work or your personal life or in your marriage or with your kids, what you have to realize as a man, you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses.
Right.
And I made something that shows your strengths and weaknesses that I wish I had when I was in the league. And I started to implement this when I had my first daughter, and my second daughter, and my third, and being married for 10 years. And I use this to navigate what it is that I need to get better at for myself, for my wife, and for my kids. The key to this whole thing is not to be perfect. It's all about progress over perfection.
Right.
Being well-rounded is the key. When you think about when you play Madden or 2K and you create a player and you bump up all the stats to 99, that's not real for real life. Players who stay in the league for a long time, men who stay married for a long time, men who stay around their kids and their kids love them, are well-rounded men.
Right.
They're good in every area.
Right.
They're able to show up for their families, show up for their communities, and do all the things right, because they are good in every area. And
He's preaching right now. This is something that is very important. And I tell my brothers this, like, you have to have a balance everywhere. Like, there's this concept, oh, lock in, don't talk to somebody, isolate yourself. Bro, don't do that. You need to be around other men who can help you, like, grow, give you advice. I got iron sharpers iron. You gotta, like, you have to be balanced. If you do too much on one thing, yes, it's good to lock in, do what you need to do, blah blah blah. Yes, but you need to have a balanced game. Because if you don't have a balance, you're gonna go crazy and lose something that you should have never lost. Have a balance, please, brothers. Y'all gotta have a balance.
Understand their strengths and their weaknesses. And this is something that you can do for yourself and become well-rounded. So go figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. It's about 6 minutes. The link is in the description. If you don't want to watch that, you can watch this video about my most improved player trophy and how I was never good at anything, but I made a way.
Shout out Ced, bro. This video was very inspirational, man. It was very inspirational, man. Like, very, very inspirational, man. It's this story. I love this story, man. If you like this video, if you made it this far, bro, subscribe. You made it this far, just subscribe, bro. But other than that, thank you for watching. I'm gonna have another video I upload. I'm put it right there on the top. But other than that, I'm out. You guys have a good day.